Here's a radio with a tuning knob like some kind of fantastic steering wheel on a late 50s American car. Deep dish is one way to describe it. With a thing like this, you ought to be able to pull radio signals right off the satellites. This curious transistor radio has quite a few distinctions in addition to that space-age dial. First of all, it has no name. We've seen many transistor radios with names but no model number. This one has a model number but no name. Or rather, the model number is the name. Well, all right then. I always thought if I ever found one of these in the original box, I'd find the actual name of the thing on that box. Well, I found one in the box, and here's that box. No name. So it's a TR-180, and apparently that's that. But there's a little more to the story, and we'll get into that in a minute. This box reminds me of the Sony TR-610 box and the Sony TR-810 box. Same configuration, same gold foil covering, same black and orange color scheme. This trim piece here on the TR-180 box is printed on separate paper and applied to this box with glue. And as a side note here, this isn't the only radio with only a model number for a name. Check this out. This one was sold by Goodyear Tire and still has the price tag, but has no name other than 808. There's a whole other video on this 808 radio on this channel. All right, let's look over this little beauty and note some of its other unique attributes. We've already waxed rhapsodic over the tuning knob, and check out the dial numbers. What does that remind you of? Who else used dial numbers styled in a similar way to this? I should make this a quiz. You think about that, and I'll tell you later at the end of the video. The plastic here is hard, thick, and brittle. Radios made of this stuff, whatever it is, are hardly ever found unbroken. They tried to make up for this brittleness by making the cabinet thick, and that gives a bit more bulk to the radio, which already has a hard time fitting into a shirt pocket. I guess it's just as well, because if this thing ever fell out of a shirt pocket and down to the floor, it would explode into a couple of dozen shards of hard, thick, and brittle plastic, formerly known as a radio. Inside, it looks rather later than I would have thought, the speaker especially. I guess I would put this one at 1960. And this is confirmed by the appearance of this ad in a March 1960 magazine. And here we learn two things. That the maker was Usui Denki, which I am probably mispronouncing, and that their brand was Roxy. And that, as a Roxy, this radio has a UR102 model number. Come to think of it, the name Roxy appears on the battery clip of this radio. Aha! The inside view shown in this ad is not the same radio, but if you look closely, you see it is the inside of a UR105 model. I wish they showed that one from the front in this ad, but they don't. They have to save room for these brilliant headlines. Just completed this new model. And this, it's gaining high reputation in the business circle. The case for this radio is either a very low-grade leather or a very high-grade cardboard, or some kind of amalgam of the two. I went to a fortune teller earlier today, and she said, "Today you will use the word amalgam in a sentence." And she was right. And look at this, a very nice, stylish sales sheet for the TR-170 version of this radio. TR-170 is 10 less than TR-180. 10 less what? We may never know. Don't you love the trans stereo claim? It refers to a dual earphone, but of course this was not stereo. But back in the day when stereo was a quite new thing on the consumer market, these guys and lots of other folks played it pretty fast and loose with that term. And here on the back side of this sales sheet, the dual earphone option is again touted for the TR-170, and we are reminded that this is the first transistor radio to offer such a thing, but those earphones are optional. As advertising is known to do when it's vigorously applied, something as mundane as an earphone jack is turned into a list of 4 features, at the top of which a headline appears using the word new twice. World-shaking feature number 1, you can listen to this radio through an earphone. World-shaking feature number 2, you can listen to this radio with an earphone in both ears if you buy the optional dual earphones. World-shaking feature number 3, if you buy those dual earphones, you and a friend can listen through an earphone at the same time. And world-shaking feature number 4 is known as group listening, which just means unplugging the earphone. Not only is the dual earphone an option at extra cost, so is the single earphone. And the battery is not included, and neither is the leather case. All options at extra cost. With a total cost of nearly $60 in 1960, this radio was definitely aimed at an upscale buyer. The TR-170 and TR-180, made in Japan in the golden age of the transistor radio. Toshiba, I almost forgot. That's what the dial numbers look like to me, like the dial numbers on Toshiba transistor radios. Don't you think?